Here are 10 things that happen once the purge phase of the Kundalini awakening process is over. Number 1, the body stops fighting itself. After the purge, your nervous system stops interpreting everything that's going on, all of this stuff leaving your body, as an enemy. And instead of constant fight or flight and low-level stress, you start to become calm. Your body cooperates with this energy and learns to stabilize. You can help your body to be calm by simply listening to the body. What do you need right now? Noticing where the body is tense and consciously breathing safety into the parts of you that are tense and feeling them relax. This helps you to train your nervous system to just chill out. Number 2, the emotional roller coaster becomes much less intense. During the purging phase, the emotions can feel violent and tumultuous and really stormy. Now they come in gentle waves, or at least gentler. They don't stick to you as much. And they're also clearer. Whereas before, you may have felt like you weren't really sure what you're feeling. Now you know, I'm feeling anger arise. You can kind of watch the emotions rather than get sucked up into them. You learn to listen instead of kind of drown in them and be taken away by them. And it can be really helpful to just, every time an emotion arises, especially if it's a particularly intense one, to just pause and ask yourself, what is the gift in this emotion? Or what message does it have for me? Recognizing that every emotion is just feedback. It's feedback about the direction you're moving in your life, or ways that you're mistreating your body, or whatever. Number 3, the sensitivity that was once so difficult to deal with becomes your superpower. After the purge phase, the sensitivity that once felt completely unbearable now really becomes an inner compass. Your body is like a tuning fork for truth and for authenticity. Your sensitivity starts to guide you rather than something that really feels like, oh, you wish it would just go away, that you weren't so sensitive. To really hone this guidance, you can practice every energetic reaction. Every time you feel movement in the body or tension in the body, just notice it and react to it like guidance. Follow this guidance. Lean into what feels like it expands your heart or relaxes you or brings peace to your body, and step away from or say no to anything that feels like you want to contract or shrink, or just maybe even makes you feel tightness in your belly or nausea. Pay attention to what this sensitivity is guiding you toward. Number 4, energy starts flowing upwards. It has a direction rather than being scattered. Before the purge and during the purge, this Kundalini energy can often leak into all of the areas in your life where you really don't want it to go, into chaos and burnout and projection and people-pleasing, resentment, all of this stuff that's very out there. And it starts moving in a much more intentional way up through the chakras, building your confidence and your radiance instead of being all over the place. It's not yours when it's outside of you. If you can hone this energy and bring it in through meditation and even visualize this energy moving up through the central channel that lies along the spinal column, all the way up to the top of your head, and just breathing up and imagining and feeling this energy rising like an elevator. This will help the energy to move upward. And forgive the paint on my hands. I just started painting again. I'm so excited. Number 5, thoughts start to lose their grip. This is amazing. The purge really starts to dismantle the ego or the survival wiring. And after this, thoughts can't stick anymore. Instead, there's kind of a natural spaciousness. They might come in, but they just slide right off. You don't get as caught up in your own story or other people's stories, and you don't necessarily get caught up in so many mental loops. A way that you can enhance this or help it along is to notice every sticky thought, and instead of analyzing it or following it or trying to solve some problem, just exhale and feel grounded in the body. Train yourself to come to the body instead of to stay so much in the head. Come to the senses. Number 6, peace feels accessible no matter what's going on. After this purging phase, peace isn't something that you're trying to reach for anymore. It is something that is kind of in the background of all experience. There's like this foundational well-being that you always have access to, and it feels truly like no matter what's going on, even if it's extremely difficult, that is the default. The truth is peace and well-being, and you feel that. It's not just some concept that you know about. You just know it to be true. And something that you can do to help this along is at any point during your day, take deep breaths. Maybe put one hand on your heart, one on your belly, and remind yourself, peace is already here now. Peace is available. And stay slowing with this breath until you can really actually feel whatever stress is going on. Drop into peace. When you do this, you're literally retraining the nervous system, retraining your body. Return to peace over and over again. Number 7, your relationships shift from places where you feel a lot of triggers and maybe control issues to a place where you really start practicing divinity. Pre-purge or even pre-Kundalini, every relationship might feel like, oh, there's so many projections, there's so many shadows coming out, so many potential arguments. And afterwards, you really start to see how these mirrors of other people are helping you to embody more and more unconditional love. Even conflict becomes a chance for alchemy. You really start to see it that way. I had somebody I was speaking with in the community talking about this, and she said, oh, my triggers come up and I get so excited. It's something juicy to work on. And I absolutely love that. I feel so strongly that relationships are really the places where we meet God. We meet God in other forms and we get to interact with other people. This is an opportunity for practice. So whenever you feel triggered, a great thing to do is just pause and ask yourself, if this person were wiser than me, if they were my guru or my higher self coming down to teach me a lesson, what would that lesson be? Assume that that person is wiser than you and they are here to teach you something that you desperately need to learn in order to ascend or reach enlightenment or whatever words you use. Number 8, your life simplifies in a huge way. You kind of become a minimalist. Before the purge, you might have many, many attachments, so many goals. You really love your possessions. And after this purge phase really burns away all these false identities, you can't even live with this complexity anymore. You really want simplicity in your life. There are people that I meet almost every day who are like, I just want to drop everything and go live in the woods alone. This is not you just wanting to escape from the world. This is really resonance with simplicity. You are not able to even tolerate distractions anymore. This is refinement. What really matters to you is silence and stillness and solitude. You know that's where the good stuff is. And the physical possessions, all of the stuff that you can get and acquire, that starts to lose its meaning. You recognize the temporariness of it and you don't identify with it. It doesn't say anything about who you are anymore, that you accumulate all this stuff. And a great practice to enhance this and to help this along, if you're experiencing it or if you want to expand into it, is just make a list of what truly expands you, what lights you up, and what drains you, and then cut everything out that drains you. And then you don't even have to add anything. Just let the things that expand you expand more. For example, painting, which is all over me right now, feels so expansive for me. So I'm just giving it more space in my day and learning more about it. On my date nights with my fiance, we're going to the museum. I'm drawing in the mornings. Like, I'm letting this expand because it lights me the F up. Number 9, the divine starts to live through you. This is amazing because you can really feel this. You can feel it in your whole being. The purge is the process of clearing the ego, and its grip really starts to loosen on you, and you become a vessel. You start to really notice the synchronicities, the flow, all of this movement of divinity in your daily life. And you might literally start to have a lot of kriyas that feel very different than the purging kriyas. The kriyas that happen in the purging phase are more about releasing and letting go and shedding things and clearing blocks. And it's a lot of jerky movements, maybe shaking, maybe really uncomfortable movements. The kriyas that happen after the purge are flowing. They feel so much more blissful and free, and they start to spread out. And it sounds strange, but it's absolutely true. The kriyas aren't just something that happen in meditation. They really become something that happens when you're grocery shopping. When you're talking with a friend, you might just notice it feels so effortless. And there's this deeper and deeper desire to surrender to those. And as you do, they expand until they really start to take over your life. And even if you don't think of it as the kriyas, or the kriyas aren't happening for you, you are able to trust in life more, surrender more, and really the orientation goes from, I need to make this thing happen, to I'm giving it over to God, or I want to control this. I want to make decisions, to use me, move through me. And this is a good practice if you want to deepen into letting God move through you and as you, just every minute that you can check in. I mean, having the lifestyle of move me, speak through me, speak as me, my life is yours, I am yours. And you're speaking to an all-knowing, all-powerful, all-loving being that wants the best for everyone on this planet, for every living being. How could you go wrong by giving your life over to this being? And number 10, integration becomes the new way of life. This purge phase is not the end, and this is so important to remember. This isn't the end of the Kundalini awakening journey. This movement of energy is happening in my life. It's happening in everyone's life always who has this Kundalini awakening process. But it's a doorway into a new way of living. Instead of working with this energy to purge, constantly get rid of, release, after that comes embodiment. Now the practice is learning to carry divinity in your body, in your relationships, in your daily habits, in your chores, in your work. This is where Kundalini really matures into embodied wisdom. And the practice to deepen into this is to do micro practices. And this can be something that is actually just as powerful as sitting formal meditations. Chanting mantras while you are on your drive to work, breathing up and down the spinal column like we talked about earlier while you're doing the dishes, sending loving kindness or blessings to someone who you have a hard time with. Always be practicing. Make this your life. If you are awake, then you're doing the spiritual practice that is your life. And if you would like to meet people who really understand this Kundalini awakening journey, we have a Kundalini awakening and divine embodiment community that is absolutely amazing. We meet every single day for the spiritual practices that can help to move this energy in a more graceful way. You can check that out in the description below. I hope to see you there.